Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a chit chat with Kens, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. So today on this chit chat with Kens, I'm going to be talking about government assistance programs and whether America is using them properly or improperly. So the government assistance programs were established in 1935 by the Social Security Act. These programs were initially created to help poverty-stricken individuals and their children. But unfortunately, as time went on, people started to use and abuse these assistance programs. So Americans were using and abusing them by claiming welfare because they were unable to work, but really they were just lazy. People were making improper Medicaid payments, and believe it or not, people were falsely reporting their incomes on financial student aid. So the majority of Americans are working so hard to make a living and trying to support their families, but not everyone is doing that, you know? So, of course, there's always like people who want to like make a living but do it in like the easiest way, you know? So, the dictionary.com defines welfare as money paid by the government to those who are in need of financial assistance and are unable to work, or whose circumstances mean the income they require for basic needs isn't going to help them, or isn't enough, I should say. So the welfare system was awesome. It helped so many people during the Great Depression, and it still helps many families today. And that's why this is so sad, because there are people out there who actually need these programs and really can benefit from them. But then you have people who are just using them just so they don't have to work, just so they can get some extra money, which I don't think that's really fair. So one thing that is causing this to be such an issue and like why it's being so abused is because it is so easy to get on welfare, believe it or not. You'd think it'd be a little bit harder. So all you have to do is like falsify your application. And how you do that is they have like different job fields, and you can say like what you're capable of doing and what you aren't capable of doing. And so like people who are capable of like doing any job will say they're not capable of doing like over half of those jobs when really they are. So along with falsifying welfare applications, people are also making fraudulent Medicaid payments. So Medicaid is a joint federal and state program that, together with the Children's Health Insurance Program, provides health coverage to over 72.5 million Americans, including children, pregnant women, parents, seniors, and individuals with disabilities. Medicaid is the single largest source of health coverage in the United States. But surprisingly, it's not like your average Americans who are misusing these programs. It is actually the healthcare providers. Crazy, right? So the New York Times has this article about a doctor who stole over like $1 million from Medicaid by making claims for procedures that she didn't really do, which is horrible. So what they do is when they are writing on how much they need from Medicaid, they're saying that, oh, I performed all of these procedures, I need money for all of these procedures, all these people were on Medicaid, when really she was not doing any of those procedures. And that happens a lot with healthcare providers. It's not just her who did it, it happens with a lot of them. So continuing on, another government assistance program that us Americans are misusing is the students and financial aid. So Americans we're losing like billions of dollars by providing students with financial aid who don't necessarily need it. So the government sets aside so many tax dollars for students pursuing higher education. But sadly, it's nearly impossible to stop this dishonesty because it's so large and complex and inherently risky. So parents and students are able to cheat the system by falsely recording their income. By doing this, they're able to receive more aid from the government and more benefits. The parents are most likely to help their child pay for their college with little to no financial aid. But of course, Americans will do anything they can to not spend their own money if they don't absolutely have to. If they're oh, we can say we have a lower income and save our money and just use the government's money, And it's really sad because the government only has so much money to give. So people who are actually really struggling and who really need that money might not get it because so many people who don't actually need it are getting it. And that is just not fair. So although government assistance programs are often misused and abused, some people will argue that these programs are only helping America banish poverty. There's an article in The Guardian that states, especially in post-recession America, these so-called handouts are exactly what keeps millions of Americans from living in deeper poverty. They also say the only way to help the poor is to give to the poor, which makes sense. A lot of the times they are doing everything they can and they just need a little help from people who can give them help. Because there are a lot of people in this world who have so much money and, they can actually help people. And it's good to want to help people, But they shouldn't have to help people who don't need the help, because there are some people who really need the help. So from how I'm seeing all of this, I believe that America is really abusing these government assistance programs, and there have been many attempts to end the abuse, but government assistance programs are enormously complex and they bring benefits to thousands and even millions of Americans. So federal agencies are often messy in their delivery of the programs, and Congress is doing little to nothing to make it better. So hopefully America can develop a program that will help all of the Americans. So your average Americans aren't losing their money on their taxes, and your poverty-stricken people are actually getting the money they need and the help they need to get out of the poverty, to make a better living for themselves. So people also need to start being more considerate of those who are actually struggling to make a living. America is too hungry for money that we just do not have, So that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me. I hope you all have a great rest of the day. Bye!